tell us how nice is it to finally have a home game after the first two games being on the road?
It feels great. Last 4 games have all been away, including the playoffs last year. And we're really excited and looking forward to being able to come out in our own home field and play in front of our fans.
I agree. I'm just ready to play here and have more family being able to come down and have our school support us more so than at away games.
Has there been more buzz this week than in the past? Do you sense the added excitement?
I definitely feel it around campus. People are talking about coastal football and talking about coming out this year, so I'm looking forward to it.
Hopefully it's a changing culture and people really appreciate what we start doing out there, and we'll see what happens this week.
That South Carolina State game was so big last year. It was a wild game, but it also seemed to kind of spur you guys on. You really got a boost from that. Looking back on that, how big was that to everything you accomplished last year?
I believe it was our first game last year.
Yeah.
I think that was a big part of it too, just being able to get us going. But I think they're definitely a good competition, so they're gonna help figure us out where we are and what we need to do to succeed this year.
I think it's definitely gonna be a benchmark game for us. Last year they played us real tough. Really set the standard for what we wanted to accomplish for the rest of the season last year, and hopefully we get the same result this year around.
What you learned about yourselves from last week? Kind of a tough one, backs to the wall there. You guys had to grind one out.
Yeah, it was a lot closer than we would have liked, but we learned that we were a resilient team. We weren't going to give up until the end, and as long as there's still time on the clock left, we're just going to keep playing and trying to win.
We just got to come out here and start stronger than we did last week. I think a lot of the kids let the ranking get to their head, so now we're more humble than we were last week, and we'll be able to come out and play better ball this week.
It was a strange day for the offense. What's been the message coming off the 5 turnovers and how to eradicate that?
I think it was just a fluke. We're trying to do too much stuff too fast, and we just need to sit back and get back to our basics, catch the ball, look it in before we turn and run, and hold on to the football when you're running. So I don't think that should be an issue ever again.
Calvin, your thoughts on their offense and what you're facing this week?
Well, last year we played them. They were incredibly up-tempo, one of the fastest offenses we played, and we've spent extra time this week getting ready for that, making sure we're conditioned and in shape, and we'll be able to keep up with them.
What concerns you the most specifically?
They've got good speed. They've got a big offensive line. I think that it's going to be a tough battle for us on the inside, but in the end, I'm confident in my guys, confident in our team that we'll be able to pull it out.
On the defensive side, can you draw any comparisons to maybe the Aggies from last week or Citadel?
I think it's completely different defense. We're playing predominantly 3-down team this week, so it's a little bit different for us going into this game as in preparation, because we don't face 3-down fronts all that often. But I definitely think we know what we're supposed to do as long as we go out there and execute what the coaches are telling us. A lot of the guys that are playing this year are the same guys from last year. It's just a different scheme defense with their new D coordinator coming from Louisville, so we'll see how it fares.
How does that mess with your mind, losing so bad like they did to Clemson? And you guys experienced that against the Gamecocks, but you were resilient and came back and made a nice little run in the playoffs. How does that mess with a team's head? You guys come in 2-0 and they're coming off a whipping.
I feel like this is the same for most teams. When you come off a game like that, you're even more hungry the next week. You want to go out and play tougher. You want to be sharp on everything, and you want to make up for your blunder from the week before.
I'm one of those people that try not to think about the past too much. What's done is done. I look forward to playing our next opponent, so it really doesn't faze me too much.
Doesn't get you up here.
No.
Kevin, is it safe to say you're the jokester on the offensive line?
I don't know about jokester.
You keep the guys, you kind of keep the guys light though, don't you?
Yeah, I try to lighten the mood sometimes so we're not too serious, but I know when it's time to focus in and get the guys focused in on what we're supposed to be doing.
I saw something in the Citadel game. You got called for holding, and when you got back up, you literally pulled the jersey down on the Citadel guy that you held. You remember that?
No, I did not get a penalty in
I
the
swear,
Citadel
you
game.
held a guy. I mean, obviously his jersey was way up here. You walked past him and you pulled his jersey down under the shoulder pads. And I just, that's why I got the jokes and questions. I thought that was funny.
I don't remember.
Were you guys a bit frustrated coming off of last week, even though you won the game?
Yes, I know the offense as a whole was very disappointed in ourselves, and we're definitely more capable of doing better things than what we did last week. So we just keep coming out here and trying to work hard this week and get ready for this game.
What have you seen from Alex? It was an off game for him, but he's usually pretty focused and moves past things pretty quickly.
Yeah, he doesn't have very many games like that, so as of now, it looks like he's doing fine, bouncing back. We'll see this weekend, but me and all the players and coaches have full confidence in him coming in this weekend, being able to turn things around.
Okay, so this week we have South Carolina State. So let's kind of think a little bit about, what kind of challenge that poses for us. Remember, they are the team that, went to the playoffs a year ago. They gave us a great game a year ago, our opening day last year at their place. That game could have gone either way. Special teams ultimately wound up making the difference, and we had a great fourth quarter. That was the difference in that game. They wound up having a good season. They're 7-1 in the league. They were 9-4 overall. They won a handful in the last few games of the season last year. They've run out of a multiple pro eye set. They do a lot of motion. They'll do a lot of shifting. On any snap, they can hit multiple points of attack. So what we've got to be careful with on defense, if we don't make our reads, what's going to happen is, based on an initial flow, we'll have too many guys overplaying one part of their game. If we have too many guys overplaying one part of the game, we're going to give them an opportunity someplace else. So if the ball's on the right side of, let's say, their center, right side, as we look at it, right side of our right side of their center, the guys on the left side, there's going to be a threat coming back to them. They got to be prepared to play that. The secondary, if they don't have primary run responsibility, they got to make sure they're making their reads. So if they get a real run read, they have the freedom to come up. But if they got a pass read, it could be a play action pass, it could be a double pass, it could be a screen, it could be a draw, it could be a number of things. We've got to stay as disciplined as we ever have, and our technique and our fundamentals have to be good on defense. They weren't bad the other day, but we got to get them better for us to be a really good defensive team. And then once again, we got to be consistent, and we can't give up a big play in the special teams. If we can make a big play or two, certainly that's going to make a difference as well in the game. So we know we have our work cut out for us. We're delighted to be able to play at home finally. Not going to change the way we play, but we're delighted to be able to play in front of our student body and our faculty and our fans. We're looking forward to doing that. And we expect a real solid, tough football game. Questions?
Is that more unique than normal and trying to prepare for just a multitude of things, or is it just a matter of telling your defense you got to be able to stay on your toes constantly?
I think you usually got to tell them they got to stay on their toes. When they get a little lazier, when we don't play our technique on defense, or we make a mistake in responsibility, we almost always have a problem. When we don't have mistakes in responsibility, just play our technique, maintain our leverage, don't turn our shoulders, run in front of, I'm looking at some of our defensive linemen, come across somebody's face as opposed to run behind them. When we do the things that we need to do, keep our feet on tackling, I think you're going to see a very improved defense from where we've been in the past. But that's the type of thing you can't get away with making those types of mistakes. So it's kind of an every week thing, and then you just tailor it for the types of threats that you're going to see. The same principles, just the different types of threats.
Any role players specifically on their offense that you're more concerned about than others?
Well, they've got, they've got some, they have some very quick, there are guys that go in jet motion 2 and 15. They line up as wide receivers, but they come back across the formation. Both of those guys are, they're a little bit like Devin Brown in terms of their size, but they're very, very fast. If we're not aware of where they are and what they're doing, that could create a problem for us. We've got to keep an eye on them. They've got a couple of, I think it's 2 offensive linemen, Mike, help me if I'm wrong, that were not potential, I think they were preseason All-American picks. They had 10 guys on their team overall that were pre-conference selections of one team or another. So they feel pretty good. They were picked to be second in the league against Bethune-Cookman. We've been a perennial power. So I think, they certainly feel, and they do have a solid, good football team. Anything else, guys?
How much did you look at the Clemson tape?
Did
you learn anything? Can you
Yeah,
possibly-
you see, again, you know my feelings on those. I think those games are all bad games. And I think the Division II games are bad games. I mean, you always ask questions, I get asked questions often about, what my philosophy is as far as why we don't want to play FBS schools, but I feel the same way about Division II schools. What I want is an FCS schedule that's a real solid competitive schedule. I like the idea some of the games are closer, so we get develop more rivalries over time, get more people to the games. Don't have to make too many plane trips or multi-hour bus trips. But you get a feel certainly for what their base stuff is and what they can do. So you had a chance to watch them slaughter somebody the week before and get slaughtered the following week, but you still get a chance to kind of watch what they're doing. I mean, we know Clemson's not just, Clemson's pretty good. They're very good FBS school. And once that kind of starts to snowball away from you, that can get out of hand. That certainly would happen. It happened the same way in reverse against Benedict the previous week. But we can certainly get a feel for what they do. Again, I don't think either one of those games are great games for them, but that's not I've got nothing to say about that. But then remember, we looked at their game with us last year, and then we looked at their last 3 games of the season last year. So we really looked at 6 games in preparation for this week.
Well, that happened against you. I mean, you guys had a pretty big loss last year, when you jumped over and played the big boys. How do you get your team to bounce back, and you anticipate that that's maybe going to help SC State to be more resilient?
I think if I'm Buddy Pugh, and Buddy's been a winner his entire life, he does a great job with their program. He's going to say, guys, look, we played somebody that wasn't that good, we really handled. We played somebody that was really good, we got handled. This is our first opportunity to play an FBS school. It's an opportunity to play a school at our level. It's a team we could have beaten a year ago. Let's get our act together and let's go. I think that's exactly what he's going to say. I don't know what he's going to say, but my guess is that's what he's going to say. Remember, the way we handle it is very simple. Just whatever has happened yesterday, and you learn by it, but that's it. It doesn't matter if you won or lose. It's over with. It's gone. It's finished. So the focus is to go through the process this week so we can correct some of the things that we didn't do as well, and we can do a much better job of focusing on what we need to get done this week. Last week is irrelevant.
On the flip side, do you think you maybe got away with one last week?
I think anytime you have 5 turnovers and you win by 1 point, yeah, you had to be a little lucky for that to be able to happen. I mean, I still think we deserve to win the game, but I don't think there's any question. Again, we're not going to win if we have 5 turnovers. So this was an incident, playing away, we had 5 turnovers, and we won. I'm glad that was behind us.
What about the atmosphere coming in Saturday? It's really the first home game since Bethune-Cookman, way back over Thanksgiving break, and you were hearing about it being a near sellout. We talk a lot about the crowd at other places, but what about the crowd? What impact do you think that'll have, and will your guys be more pumped for that, or will they, or will there be a cockiness coming home?
I think number one, I think we've gotten reasonable turnouts from our students at the Citadel game as well as the A&T game. I thought the band going to the Citadel game did a great job. I think the students that are there for us in the away game do a great job. I very much appreciate and thank them for the effort that they make. They can do a lot of things, and they choose to take multi hours out of their day to be able to spend that with us. I'm very, very pleased and proud of that. I think for a home game, I think we're supposed to have a big crowd. I think we're excited about that. We're happy about that. we said our mission is to put a team on the field that all Coastal's gonna be proud of. That kind of begins with our student body, begins with our faculty, begins with our alumni, as well as the community. So hopefully we have a big turnout, and I think our guys are excited about that. Our guys, the way they prepare, if there is nobody in the stands, we're gonna play the same way. If the stands are standing room only and there's lines out to 501 or 544, we're gonna play the same way. That's not gonna change how we play. But to play in front of, in our stadium, and our home field, again, with a crowd that's supportive of us, makes us feel proud, it makes us feel good, we appreciate that. We hope that's the case, but we're not gonna worry too much about what we can't control.